Now, there we go. Sup, guys? I'm hosting today for some godforsaken reason. No fancy music, no fancy intro. I don't know how to do none of that. Haven't done this in a minute. But fuck Sam, fuck Carlos. Who needs them? We got the boys here. We got
All we need.
Rios, my guy from the Just Fans podcast. And then we got the man, the myth, the legend, the only Colts fan we know, Dallas Clark.
What's going on?
Man.
So, guys, another week of the NFL and another reason to make CJ MVP. What are we thinking about it?
It's crazy, bro. Like I was high on him, coming, out of the draft, but to play at this level, I don't even think he envisions playing at this level.
I don't think anybody would have thought that it was going to be this good. I'm kind of only kidding about the whole MVP thing. I feel like it's still too early. I feel like offensive rookie of the year is a lock for him at this point. But as far as league MVP, dude, I just don't. I couldn't wrap my head around it. A rookie coming in and winning it, I don't think so. With the Lamars with the Lamars of the world, with the way Tua, the Miami kind of slowed down a little bit, but the way Tua started the year, Mahomes is also the greatest quarterback right now. Joe Burrow coming back. How do we feel about this whole MVP situation?
I think, well, because that's been done since Jim Brown did it in '57. I think if they can win the division and he is, top, 5 in most of the major categories, it's kind of hard not to give it to him. Because look at Tua, like they haven't beat a team with a winning record. The Chiefs' offense, they're getting carried a little bit by their defense as of late. We're not seeing the Mahomes that we're used to seeing. And Lamar, he got to play with Deshaun Watson on Sunday. So I don't know.
That's gonna be
it's gonna be an interesting MVP race.
Yes, yeah, I think definitely, like you said, it's a little too early to really seriously consider CJ in the MVP conversation, but at this point, it's hard not to at least include him in the conversation. When you're looking at the numbers he's putting up, I know he's only thrown I think his second interception this last weekend on the whole year. I mean, his touchdown to interception ratio, his efficiency, the level he's playing at, the fact that when he does have good games, the Texans look like one of the hardest teams to beat in the NFL at the current moment, despite not having a superstar roster like some of these elite teams. It's hard not to at least put CJ in the conversation. And if he finishes this year out, on the same path that he's been on, with the roller coaster that some of those elite quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, have been on, he's going to get quite a bit of votes. And I don't see a world like you're saying where a rookie really wins MVP, but I think he might seriously give Patrick and Jalen and Lamar a run for their money if he continues to play this way.
Yeah, no. Once all the votes are in and whatnot, could he finish top 5?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't put it past it. He's definitely playing out of his skin, and he's the main reason why, or at least the most evident reason why the Texans are where they are right now. First time over 500 and since 2019?
4 years.
Dude, that's not something I thought I was going to be saying at this point of the year.
I'd probably in the current MVP standings, I'd probably go Lamar, Patrick, Tua, and CJ. I'd put him in the top 5 for sure.
See, that's not a bad list.
Yeah, even the Vegas odds have him in the top 5.
What about
plus 20,000 to plus 5,000 overnight, basically?
I mean, the way Josh Dobbs is playing, if he can have a second half of the season the way he's playing, hey.
For real.
Who knows? He might be the bald Michael Vick.
I don't know if that's the type of competition he wants to. He wants to be like, but what can we say? Because me and Rizbit, we talked about on our show. We talked about the Texas game and we really gave our opinions on CJ and the whole Texas team as a whole. The way the Miko's been changing the team. And it's only because the Texans are doing so well that we talk about them so much. But let's talk about the Colts right now. Dallas, walk me through. How are we feeling?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a Colts fan, That game kind of sucked on Sunday morning, man. I mean, geez, I was expecting a little more action. I know the Colts and Patriots both aren't the best teams. It's not the same Colts Patriots that we're used to, but I definitely was expecting more than one touchdown. But I'm definitely glad we were able to make the big plays when it mattered. Mac Jones might be just a step above Daniel Jones. I mean, they must come from the same tree at least. But I mean, I definitely was a little worried when they put Zappy to Pappy in at the end of the game. I was like, he might give him a chance, but we definitely were able to stuff out any chance they had. I think we played a decent game. When you look at it as a football fan, not just looking for touchdowns and highlight plays, it was definitely a good game, back and forth all game. It was a battle, but I mean, it's hard to deny. It was definitely a boring game. I'm just glad we came out on top.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you're like, you hate that you watched it, but you're glad that at least you came out with a win, right?
Yeah, sometimes you got to win ugly, and boy, was that ugly.
That was ugly.
Oh yeah,
that was like the ugly stepsister ugly. Like that shit was just bad, dude.
It was better than the Bears and Panthers game. I hated myself for watching that game. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Honestly, those two games came on the schedule, right? And I was like, I kind of at least appreciate the Colts when they play because sometimes they do play some good football.
Yeah.
But that Bears game or whatever, Panthers, like I saw that on the schedule and I'm like, there's no way I'm watching this. You could pay me. You could not pay me to watch this.
The only reason I even paid attention to it was fantasy football.
Yeah, I had a couple guys playing. That's the main reason I watched it. I had Deontay Foreman playing, so I was like, let me see.
Yeah.
I picked him literally like right before the game started. Gave me 17 points.
Hey,
perfect.
Not bad, man. Sometimes that's all you need. Obviously, Sam is not here, but his Titans got completely bitch smacked by the Buccaneers, which is good news for us because that just means that they're just gonna end up at the bottom of the division now. Like I feel like there's no way they turn it around and all of us start sucking completely, right? Like I feel like the Titans are completely out of this race by now.
Yeah, I mean, Will Levis came back down to earth, which I expected.
There's nothing wrong with it. Which there's nothing wrong with it because the expectations were never there, at least not from me.
Yeah. Well, and you also got to look at it like I know Tampa Bay is not the same defense that they've been over the last few years. Tampa Bay is still a top 10 defense, though. That's a tough defense, especially against a rookie quarterback with not a great offensive line. So like I even like on my podcast, I do a lot of fantasy football stuff. I'm over on the Huddle Chat Sports Network, and I was saying to sit Will Levis this week. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's kind of a matchup based quarterback. If he gets a decent defense, Will Levis, he's no idiot. There's a reason he was talked about being drafted in the top 5 picks of the draft this year. But if he gets a bad matchup, it's going to be a game like this Buccaneers game. But teams like the Panthers and some of those NFC South teams that they're going to match up against a little later on in these next few weeks, I think Will Levis definitely can have some good games. And that's what we've been talking about these last few weeks is with the Titans pretty much already being out of it unless an absolute crazy miracle happens for them. Will Levis is kind of playing with house money and can build that confidence and can start to get that offensive scheme down, and they can start to build that scheme around him so that way they can come in next year and be real serious about competing for the AFC South.
100%. I feel like honestly, like just give Will Levis full reign of the team, and then in a couple of years, like you could actually be building something. You just gotta get the right pieces, get the right trades for Henry and whatnot, and just
they're gonna
see
face
what you can build around.
Tough decisions in the offseason. What do you
decisions that they probably could have made before the trade deadline, which for whatever reason they decided not to.
Yeah,
maybe the value just wasn't there. Maybe just the right trade pieces just weren't there. But I could have put money that Henry was going to get moved before the trade deadline, and it did not happen.
Henry, Hopkins, like there's going to be some tough questions they're going to have to answer in the offseason because if you're going to rebuild, you're going to rebuild young guys, not guys in their 30s making boatload of money.
Yeah. Unless like Levis, explodes for whatever reason.
I don't see that happening.
And then you just trade him. I don't know, but the AFC South, man, I feel like for the next few years it's gonna be quite interesting. Like at last, we're not like the worst. I wouldn't say we're not the weakest division by a long shot
Definitely not.
No.
anymore. Jacksonville, man, they struggle pretty hard
Good
the
teams.
against the 49ers, man, and
Yeah.
that was an ugly sight to see. If you're a Jacksonville fan, fuck them, because who cares? They're still 6-3 though, so.
And they played the Titans this week.
And they play Titans this week, which should be
be
a
a
win.
win. It could also be a trap game because this is a division game, and
Is this the Oilers game?
No. They wear the Oilers uniforms against the Falcons, and they're going to wear them again against us.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Bitches. It's gonna be fun to like dismantle that team. While they're wearing those unis, like
it's gonna be a beat down like Buffalo beat us down in the playoffs in '93.
It's gonna be bad, dude. I know we're like a little, this is what, week 10 already?
Yeah.
Week 11 we're going into now, I think, right?
Week 11.
Yep.
So, do you have any wild predictions as to what's going to happen? Like I saw Dallas was talking about how it makes no sense that Buffalo have been playing as bad as they are. I mean, they're still 500 team. They started pretty hot. And I don't know what the hell has been going on over there. Do we think they're not going to make the playoffs? Is it too early to tell?
I think that's actually a pretty good idea that Buffalo doesn't make the playoffs. You're looking at the Jets, and I know that they're not as much of a fearful team without Aaron Rodgers, but they've been getting it done in some big stages and some big moments. The Dolphins, I think, are now with the Buffalo Bills playing the way they are. The Dolphins, I think, are running away with this AFC East. So I think Buffalo might just mess around and miss the playoffs or barely squeeze in with a wild card because, I mean, the Indianapolis Colts are a 500 team right now. So they're sitting in the same boat that we are in the playoff standings, and I don't think they're. I mean, I think they definitely have a better chance than the Colts do of actually making a playoff push, a playoff run. But I think Buffalo can definitely miss the playoffs this season.
I see it too because look at the AFC North. All those teams are 5-4 and above.
Yeah,
you got the Baltimore at 7-2. You got the Browns and the Steelers at 6-3, and you got Cincy at 5-4.
Yeah.
And if you're the Buffalo Bills, and hypothetically speaking, let's say you do not make the playoffs, which I would think would be consider a failure of a season,
monumental failure,
monumental with the amount of talent they have at their disposal. If you're the Buffalo Bills, what do you do in the offseason if you do not make the playoffs? Like, what kind of changes do you have to make?
You're going to have to find a better OC, and you're going to have to find a more reliable number 2 option. Gabe Davis is not the most reliable as far as number 2 receivers go in this league. He's very boom or bust. He'll give you 100 yards one week and then 0 catches the next.
Are we talking about making some moves in free agency? Because who do you get? Otherwise, what are you trading?
As far as free agents, I don't see anyone that would help them move the needle. They're probably
I don't see anybody either. Yeah, it's just.
I mean, if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm trying to trade up into that top 5 picks and see if I can get Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, adding a generational talent at wide receiver next to a generational talent at wide receiver, you'll end up with what the Dolphins have, with what the Eagles have with AJ and Devontae. So I think definitely we're making a move because there's a lot of talented wide receivers in this upcoming draft, and I don't think the Bills are going to be bad enough to really make a push for one of them. I think the Bills have some decent players and draft capital that they can really wager to make one big move and add that one extra piece. And either make a splash at running back because James Cook is not getting it done. And you look at the Buffalo Bills running backs recently, you're looking at Zach Mosses of the world, and you're looking at James Cooks of the world and Devin Singletary's. They haven't really had a decent run game, and maybe they need to take some of that pressure off of Josh Allen and have a consistent run game.
They do, because if your quarterback's your leading rusher, it's not a recipe for success.
It's not. It's not. It's only a matter of time because that cannot work every single time. And teams will plan around it, and they will scheme around it. And just the way the Buffalo Bills have been playing, dude, it's just not. I still think they make the playoffs.
I don't see it.
Josh Allen is too talented. This team is way too talented to fall like that. But it's scary times right now. It's scary hours. You need to figure it out quick.
I mean, he's the league leader in turnovers by a big margin, and it's
Because I
not
know that
talked about enough.
the rest of their schedule is very shaky. I know they play the
Yeah.
Eagles, they play the Cowboys. I forget who else they're playing.
They got a tough schedule coming up.
They might do. I was looking at it. They might have like one of the toughest schedules.
Well, and like we were saying, like with how the AFC currently is shaken out, the AFC North having a lot of playoff potential, and even the AFC South having 2, potentially 3 teams making a playoff push. Right now, if you're a 500 team in the AFC, you're looking at it and saying we need to win 5, 6 of these next 7, 8 games that we have left on our schedule, and if you're not able to win, the majority, 85% of your games that have through the rest of the season, then you're probably not going to make a for real playoff push, because there's so many teams that this playoff push in the AFC is going to come down to that last week of the season.
This NFL season, man, like the last week of the season is going to be must-see TV.
Insane. Oh yeah, because it's all divisional games. At the
so
end.
many
Like,
things. So many stakes are going to be like everything's going to be there to play for. Look at
it's like the West in the NBA. It's just
it's too stacked. It's too stacked. Look at the Bills' schedule. They play the Jets, which if they don't win that, they are in deep trouble.
Their playoff hopes drop tremendously.
Pretty much, they have to beat the Jets. Then they play the Eagles, then the Chiefs, then the Cowboys, then the Chargers. They get a little bit of a bye week against the Patriots.
Yeah.
And then they play the Dolphins to finish the season. So like realistically, they could, out of those 7 games, they could lose realistically 5 to 6.
Yeah.
5 to 6 games. The way they've been playing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to test what they have as a team. That's really going to put them to the test. If they can't pass that test, they're not making the playoffs.
When it's like the Colts 500, we're feeling good at 500 going into the bye week with how we've played. The Bills cannot feel good at 500 the way they could. Like 500 they feel terrible right now in Buffalo. That's not where they're supposed to be.
Especially with the expectations, because
yes,
the Colts maybe this way down. By week 10, you might have thought. And correct me if I'm wrong. That we could be 500 by week 10.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the worst thing. That's not obviously.
Yeah, we were projected 4 wins this year at the end of the day.
Exactly. Buffalo by week 10, they want to be one of those teams that's like 7-2, 7-3 type of thing.
Because they came in with Super Bowl aspirations. Like they've been close the last couple of years, but they just can't get over the Chiefs.
Just can't get over the hump, man.
The Chiefs, the Bengals, they just can't beat those teams.
For real.
Yeah, that would be like a pretty crazy thing. What else are we looking at? The Raiders, they struck, fire at the right time. Right now they're piping hot. Do we think that they can do something? They're sitting at 500 right now, but like if they continue to play the way they were playing,
I normally would say yes, but look at the division they're in. You got the Chiefs and the Broncos have been surprising as well.
The Broncos have been kind of surprising, beating the Bills and whatnot, but
they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Bills.
Yeah,
they're struggling to get some wins. Like they're a game under 500 right now.
Do we think the Broncos have finally turned it around, or?
I think the Broncos remind me of the Carson Wentz Colts. They're going to be that team that in that last 3 weeks, people are going to be like, yeah, if the Broncos can win 2 of their 3 games and make the playoffs, they're going to be that team that the Chiefs and the Bills, nobody wants to see because they can play spoiler, and then the Broncos are going to blow those last 2 games and not make the playoffs at all.
See, I
wouldn't doubt it.
I think the Broncos are going to be one of those. They're probably going to have one of those games where, like, the other team needs that win more than the Broncos need it, and the Broncos they're going to play spoiler, and they're just going to win that thing. They're going to win that game. If somebody misses the playoffs because of the Broncos, I'm gonna die, bro. I'm gonna die.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Yeah. What do we think about the AFC North, man? The AFC North is so interesting to me.
The best division in football right now.
It's the best division in football, dude. The Bengals are 5-4, same as the Texans, and they are bottom. They're bottom of their division. Who is making the playoffs?
Man.
Like who?
I think Bengals and Ravens for sure.
What about the Steelers, man? The Steelers 6-3.
I think it's gonna.
I don't think the Steelers get it done. I think the Steelers have just had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, being a terrible team from last year. And I just don't. I think the Steelers, as they for some reason always seem to be, the Steelers are going to be one of those teams in that last 2 weeks that are in the hunt. And if the Steelers lose, then then the Vikings make the playoffs in the NFC for something. Like it's like it's gonna be one of those weird games that 3 teams' fate rest on the Steelers winning or losing that last game of the season.
I can see that because like they've been winning, but like they've been winning ugly, and mostly because their defense, their offense is just inept.
Yeah,
the offense is non-existent. But I mean, look at the rest of the schedule, dude. Obviously, they play the Browns. I feel like the Browns should take that one. Then the Bengals. I feel like that one. Defensively, the Steelers are pretty solid. That could go either way. Then they get the Cardinals and the Patriots and the Colts, back to back to back.
mm-hmm.
If they can win those 3 games, I feel like they're a lock for the playoffs at that point. And then they play the Ravens at the end of the season, which they already beat. So
yeah, I see Baltimore winning that. I see Baltimore winning that division, but the fight for second place it's a 3-way race basically.
Yeah,
because it's basically just a game that separates the Browns, the Bengals, and the Steelers.
And we all agree that if we had to put money on it, we're thinking the Bengals take that second spot.
Yeah,
they got the best quarterback.
And he's finally healthy, and he's finally firing in all cylinders. Unless you run against the Texans, then you just lose. This is what happens now. This is what happens in the NFL now. You play the Texans and you lose.
Yeah. We've entered the Twilight Zone.
No, dude.
Right?
I'm loving it.
Well, no, because it's funny because like him and Carlos, they both thought, this is a rebuilding year. We'll be looking to win 2 or 3 games.
And you cannot blame me for that. We got a rookie quarterback. Half the team are a bunch of rookies. Rookie head coach. There's no way we should be in the position where we are.
I saw the vision in training camp. I saw it. And I've been saying it since training camp. Playoffs, division, and playoffs. And look where we are now. You got a rookie quarterback in the MVP conversation. We're in the playoff picture. Week 10, going into week 11. You're welcome.
Dude, we're on a 2-game win streak. If we can win 3 in a row, man, over the moon.
Because right after that, we play Jacksonville. That could be for the division.
I can see that for sure.
Right now, that's my most anticipated game, Jacksonville.
Because if we can sweep them, that'll be huge. Because at the end of the season, we got the Titans and the Colts. We played, 3 times out of 4 games.
Do we play them here?
Yeah, we beat them in Duval, so we play them here. Because our next 3 games are at home. We got the Cardinals, the Jaguars, and then the Broncos at home. The Broncos game would be a little interesting because they're winning ugly, but they're winning. So that should be an interesting game. But
hey, but we're winning pretty, man.
Yeah, but I mean, 3 of our last 4 games are going to be against the Titans and the Colts.
Yeah,
we got to take care of business early.
We do, brother. If we win the next 3 games, like we're making the fucking Super Bowl, bro. I'm telling you. I'm kidding. I'm not that crazy. I'm not like Rio's level of craziness right now.
I mean, it's been proven right so far, has it not?
If only if it worked, it would have worked in October.
Like I said, I blame Dusty Baker and Kyle Tucker for being on a milk carton.
What are we looking forward to for this weekend, guys? Like
I feel like the Colts being on a bye week, I'm looking forward to my first fairly stress-free Sunday. You know what I'm saying? There's no screaming. My voice gets a nice rest. Get to wake up and just put a robe on and watch 7 hours of commercial-free football. I might take a nap. I don't know. I'm just going to enjoy this Sunday.
That's pretty good. I'm excited for Bengals Ravens. I feel like that's going to be a good game.
Oh yeah.
Raiders Dolphins should be a good one. Like if the Dolphins can get back on track, beating a piping hot Raiders team.
Yeah.
Tua could cement his MVP status in that game. What else we got? Cowboys, nobody gives a damn.
I think we got some pretty good games this week. I know, don't we got that Super Bowl rematch on Monday Night Football?
Monday Night Football, Eagles, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Eagles Chiefs.
Like I know we got some pretty. Like I remember looking at like every time I saw a commercial for next week's Sunday Night Football. Like every matchup seems like a pretty decent matchup this week. Even the bad matchups, like the kind of shittier teams, the under 500 teams, even those like they're matched up against each other, and it seems like it'll be a pretty interesting weekend of football.
Who wants to watch Giants Commanders?
I was just gonna say I think Giants Commanders is a game like it's gonna be one that you don't want to watch, but you're gonna keep seeing it pop up on Red Zone. Like man, that was surprisingly a really good game this weekend.
Speaking of the Commanders, Sam Howell's actually been playing pretty well. Like he'll play great one week and then next week like complete ass.
Bro, right now the Commanders have nothing to lose. Like anything good that comes out of that organization right now is just like I mean,
that's another team that could probably play spoiler towards the end of the season. Like especially with the Cowboys, they might surprise them and beat them, and keep them from winning the division.
Bro, if they beat the Cowboys, that would not surprise me at all. Fuck the Cowboys. Also, fuck the Saints. I don't know if I have mentioned it today.
I agree with that. I don't think we have.
Not enough.
Not enough anyway. I think they have a bye week this week. The Saints.
Yeah, this weekend, like a lot of teams that you don't really care about are on a bye. The Colts, the Saints, the Falcons. I think.
Good. None of the teams that I want to watch. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. No team that you really like. Nothing's really affecting your fantasy team. So this week's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like you said, this week is going to be kind of relaxing. I honestly do not see us losing against the Cardinals. And I could have told you that at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
That's how confident I was that the Cardinals were going to be trashed.
I wouldn't overlook them too much because Kyler Murray is playing pretty well right now. And we've struggled against mobile quarterbacks. Lamar, AR.
Yeah, but I mean, AR only played like 1/3 of that game.
Yeah.
He scored 2 touchdowns though. He scored 2 touchdowns.
And then Lamar is like, MVP candidate. So Kyler Murray, let me know when Kyler Murray does anything substantial.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put him in the same category as those two, but I wouldn't overlook him.
Kyler Murray's the Kirk Cousins of mobile quarterbacks.
Dude, honestly.
Hopefully Call of Duty releases a new map and he misses the game.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it last week, right? We were saying where we think Kirk Cousins could end up.
Yeah.
It looks like he's staying in Minnesota. They're going to pick up his contract, which is weird because, like,
do you think they're doing it out of like kindness to him?
I think so.
Yeah, because given his age and the type of injury he just had, like I don't see it from a business standpoint, but I guess like they're doing him a solid.
Bro, given his age and the injuries he just had, I would pack his bags for him. And I'll be like, wish you good luck, brother. Whatever the fuck.
Only thing I can
Canada or something.
Only thing I could think of is they want him to be the mentor for whoever they draft a quarterback, because I don't see them going with Josh Dobbs as their starter next year. You got too much talent on that team to, just go with another, journeyman quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Titans are like the just like Kirk Cousins is. It's the best mid team in the whole NFL. Then you good over there, Clark?
Oh yeah.
Just vibing. Dude, I see you with the fucking arm sling or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a little uncomfortable, but I'm used to it. They gave me some pretty good narcotics, so.
Amen to that.
How
long are you gonna be out for? Because I'm guessing you can't work like that, right?
Yeah, no. They said I got to be in the sling for 3 weeks, so I'm on leave from work right now, so I get the next 3 weeks paid. So that's kind of cool, man. I'm gonna be able to, enjoy Thanksgiving. Not have to worry about it and do anything like that. So I might even actually end up having surgery on it. So I might even be off work till the beginning of the year.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, man. Anthony Richardson, that's my quarterback, man. I figured I'd do it in solidarity.
There you go.
Imagine loving Aaron Rodgers that much. You tear your own Achilles. Like
you just jump on the ground, break your own collarbone. Ah.
Do it for me. Look at Carlos. Great layout. You would have noticed earlier if you were here. Fuck.
No thanks to you. Speaking of Carlos, fucking projector forehead.
Yeah, fuck that man. Yeah, no, like I was telling Clark, like I feel like this week is just gonna be an easy. Like I don't think anything crazy is gonna happen. Hopefully everybody stays healthy. Hopefully there's some good games. I'm more so looking forward to Monday night than anything else.
Yeah.
But something tells me it's not gonna be that much of a back and forth. I think it's gonna be like a very conservative game for both of
Yeah.
those teams. It might be like I don't know, like a 14-10 type of game.
No, I don't think so. I think they're gonna put on a show,
You think so?
especially the
Um,
Eagles. The Eagles gonna be motivated because they lost in the Super Bowl to them.
Obviously,
Yeah.
but the Chiefs' defense is pretty damn good this year. So I feel like it's gonna. I feel like those two teams are gonna cancel each other out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of movement, but yeah, Monday night should be a pretty good game. Nobody wants to see like the Giants and Commanders. Nobody wants to see fucking. I mean, Chargers and Packers could be a good one.
Yeah.
And Packers is another sleeping giant, man. I feel like they just gotta figure it out in the offseason. They could actually be competitive again, like real competitive.
I just don't see Jordan Love being the guy going forward, man.
No, he can't be. He can't be. He can't
because
be.
they're underutilizing Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a pretty good running back, but they just don't utilize him the right way. He's
Speaking of, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of running backs, we're having a little bit of a conversation on our show about the Texans running back. You keep saying the secretary should probably be RB1.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm a big Pierce fan, and I just think right now it's just like sophomore slump.
Yeah.
He's not used to the system. And Singletary, because he's performing so well, he should obviously get the start and obviously get the more snaps. But I want to see an outside perspective from Dallas. Like, how are you looking at our running game, and do you think Singletary is the guy moving forward, or should be?
I definitely think Singletary should be utilized more. Like right now they're utilizing him more in the third down game. He's the bigger running back as far as being able to do that bruising role. But Dameon Pierce is a good running back. I agree with you with the sophomore slump. I would like to believe that because he did suffer that injury last year, and maybe it's just a lack of confidence, or like you said, last year the Texans weren't as good of an offense as they were this year, and they really just handed him the ball 30 times and treated him like Derrick Henry, and it worked well until he got hurt. So I think he's kind of just adjusting, kind of like you might see Anthony Richardson next year, adjusting after the injury and into a system where you're not necessarily utilized quite as much. You're getting, 10, 15 less carries a game. Can you do as much and be as efficient with 15 to 20 carries a game as you were with 25 to 30 carries a game? That's really going to be a large part of him changing his the way he plays. He's got to get started a little bit quicker, and he's got to take advantage of that, because that yards per carry is really the looming thing that's making Singletary look like a much better back than Dameon Pierce. I would like to argue, I guess, play devil's advocate, that Dameon Pierce was getting the large majority of the work when you guys' offense wasn't running as well with the bad offensive line, and you guys have started splitting the carries a little bit more. But I think when Pierce comes back from injury, it's the perfect excuse, kind of like JT and Zach Moss have been these last few weeks. And Zach Moss is still like top 3 in rushing yards in the NFL. So I think Singletary helping take the load off of Pierce and making it seem less of a competition and more of like they're helping each other out, a 1-2 punch, Zach Moss, Jonathan Taylor, or Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, where they're working together to wear the defense down to make the offense more efficient. I think that's really what they need to do with Dameon Pierce, because Dameon Pierce is a good back. He's a young back, and they still have him on his rookie contract. They can really build off of that, because I think Singletary, he can be the guy, but not for very long. Not for more than the end of the season, I don't think. So you really want to make sure you instill confidence in Dameon Pierce and not really just let Devin Singletary steal his job, because the plan is to go with Pierce moving forward, and that'd be the perfect world for the Texans, is allow this second-year running back and this rookie quarterback to build, and then you got Nico and Tank Dell, and kind of like the Jaguars are built right now off a bunch of young players that have started to really come into their own. Travis Etienne didn't have the greatest year last year after that injury. Coming into this year, Travis Etienne's a more respectable running back. So I really think just getting that confidence in Dameon Pierce, and then letting him see that this isn't really like it's not that we're trying to go with the better running back than you. We don't think Devin Singletary is a better running back, but it's best for the team and best for your longevity to split the carries and be a 1-2 punch.
See, what I need Dallas to do is like be in every Houston Texans press conference and just answer all the goddamn questions. Dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a Texas fan, man. Like it's just
No, but like Dallas said, I think it should be like so kind of like how the Steelers have the Steelers have with Najee Harris and with
Jaylen Warren.
Like a 55-45 split. Like it's not necessarily like a lead back, it's more like putting them in the best situation for them to succeed. Like short yardage, obviously you're gonna go with Pierce. Between the 20s and third downs, you want to go with Singletary because he's the better pass catcher. And he's a better fit as far as his own running scheme goes. Till Pierce can, finally put it together and get acclimated to this scheme and, be the running back we envisioned him being in training camp.
And DeMeco's that type of coach that is gonna have to sit down and talk to him and like Dallas said, like inspire confidence in him. Yeah. That's what we need, man. And that's what this whole team reeks of, man. It's just confidence, dude. They play with swagger. They play like they have nothing to lose and everything to gain, and it's just been so fun this year.
It's kind of like how the Lions are. When you're a team that's been at the bottom of the barrel and a joke to most people, it's nice finally being able to ride like how the Jets have been these last few years. When you're that team that's historically people expect the Texans to be bad, like you said, like now that's a thing in the NFL. You lose to the Texans, like that's a thing now, and it's got to feel great as a Lions fan, as a Jets fan, as a Texans fan that you're like, yo, now we're a team to be feared. Like y'all used to laugh at us and say how can you be a Texans fan? Like now look at us. Like it's paid off, and it's got to be great, man.
Yeah, and I want to see what what the NFL looks like 5 years down the line. With
these great quarterbacks, man, it's gonna be fun to watch.
I just want to see are the Lions, are the Texans, are the Jets, are like these teams that are finally on the up and up again. Like 5 years down the line, are they contending for championships?
Yeah.
Or is it gonna be they started out pretty well and then they kind of collapsed somewhere along the way, a bad trade, a bad injury, something like that.
Yeah,
I think JJ Watt said it the best. He was on. I want to say on Pat McAfee. He was on one of those podcasts. He was saying, within 3 years, Texas could be a Super Bowl contender. And I've seen people that aren't Texas fans saying, this team, like the way they're being built right now, they have the chance to be perennial contenders year after year. But the way CJ's playing,
you got the process, man.
You gotta trust the process, man. But it's what worries me, Dallas. What worries me is that everything is looking way too good, way too soon.
Yeah,
that's what's scaring me.
Well, considering what we suffered the last few years with
Jack but dude, something is telling me come next year, I feel like the expectations are gonna be so much higher for everybody.
Yeah,
and I do not want to put that on them just yet.
Hey, pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah,
because then what happens if let's say we make the playoffs this year, which is completely possible, and then next year we completely miss them. Then what? Then do people just panic? Because
that's typically what happens.
Because the media loves taking let's take this rookie quarterback who's had a handful of great games. Let's put him in a pedestal. He's gonna be next Andrew Luck. He next whatever you want to call it. And then the moment they start to shed the bed, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's Andrew Luck.
He is who we thought he was."
Exactly. So I don't know, man. I almost wish that they kept a lower profile, like they won, but not in the fashion they're winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I know it feels good. It feels good as a fan. It feels good.
Chest out. like a peacock. Chest out, man.
Yeah, we're the H town, bro. We're the H town, and like you were saying that a little while ago. I'm interested to see what AR looks like after the injury.
Yeah,
what he come back as. Because this has to be
A wake-up call.
A wake-up call, dude. It has to be.
You would hope so, because Cam Newton didn't learn his lesson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the small sample size that we've seen, AR is a pretty goddamn good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fun to watch.
Like, athletic quarterbacks come and go, but like this guy, he actually looks as good as advertised. I didn't think he was gonna be like top of the crop, but if the Colts were gonna take somebody, it was always gonna be him over Levis.
Yeah.
What you want is you want him to protect himself a little bit better. Like, bro, watch baseball highlights, learn to slide, go out of bounds. Don't
learn to fucking slide. Don't go head first into every goddamn hit. Man,
I college, man, you can't run everybody over. Like, these are world-class athletes. You can't run them over every single time. Yeah, if the quarterback's the size of Bryce Young, yeah, sure, you can run him over, but most of these dudes are 6'5", 300 pounds. Like, just don't do it, man. Just slide.
Tyler Lockett. I don't think Tyler Lockett has ever taken a tackle in his career. He's always getting out of bounds, man.
Yeah. He's just running for his life out there.
Yeah.
Man, it's so much fun because we're talking about how the Colts could be pretty good in the next few years. Jacksonville is arguably the best team in the division right now, and the Texans are without a doubt the second best team right now. Fuck the Titans, am I right?
Definitely the bottom of the barrel right now, for sure.
Remember when they used to be like they basically used to run this division?
When?
On the back of Derrick Henry.
They had 2 years of relevance, man. That's all it was.
Right.
And they with their big head, like, oh, fucking the Oilers.
Yeah, it was the Colts for 20 years, and then Blake Bortles for a couple years, and then Derrick Henry for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? Look, the Colts will get back up on top. Don't y'all worry, man.
I ain't worried. It's
gonna be a fun battle. It's
gonna be a fun battle. Yeah, that's definitely the most exciting future that we've had in the AFC South for a while, definitely. It seems like there's always one team that's well built, and then the rest of us are just trying to figure it out. But this seems like over the next 4 or 5 years, man, like this kind of like how we were looking at the AFC East a couple years ago when they had Herbert, Mahomes, then they had, I think, Peyton in Denver, like and then they had Derek Carr in Las Vegas. It was like, man, like that's the best quarterback division in football, or how the NFC South used to be with Cam Newton, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan. I think the AFC South in the next couple of years is going to be the best quarterback division. All 4 teams have a solid quarterback, and that's definitely the hope. At least what we have right now, with all of us having rookies and Trevor Lawrence being in his 3rd year. I mean, hopefully we can have that in the next few years, because that definitely would be fun.
As a fan, it's just what you want for. You want to see good games. Like, you want to see, like them go at it and go down. So you don't want to see blowouts every. So I mean, sometimes you do, but like for the most part, like I want to see like really go at it and down to the wire.
Like how the AFC North is right now, man. You're like, man, the team that everybody thought was the best team in the division is got the worst record in the division right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I'm hoping the AFC South gets over the next 2-3 seasons.
Like anyone can win it. That's
exactly.
Anyone can win it, except the Titans. They're ass.
Fuck the Titans, bro. Fuck the Titans. Dude. I'm looking at the NFC, man. I'm just looking around trying to see if there's anything interesting to talk about. The NFC South is like the worst division in football.
I mean, the NFC in general, like it's basically like 3 or 4 teams, and
it's really the Lions, the Eagles,
and the Niners.
I mean, the Cowboys, Niners, and Seahawks all have the same record.
Yeah.
But look who those teams have beaten. The Cowboys have not beaten anyone with a winning record.
Yeah.
Eagles, I mean the Seahawks, they've beaten teams with winning records. I would put them above the Cowboys, because Cowboys haven't beaten anyone.
Probably put them above the Cowboys, but I still don't. I'm not that confident in them.
Because look at the teams they play with winning records, all losses. They lost to the Eagles, they lost to the Niners, and then the one surprising team, the Jets.
Yeah.
And what do we think about the 49ers right now? Like, obviously the Eagles are probably the best team in the NFC without a doubt, but is 49ers
It's
solid,
gonna come
like a solid second, or are we thinking the Lions are probably better at this point?
It really comes down to McCaffrey. If he's healthy,
And I feel like that's the problem. And I feel like that's the problem. The fact that it comes down, and it always, ever since that trade, dude, ever since we realized that the Purdy is not the truth. It only comes down to McCaffrey.
Like, you wanted to believe like he was more than a system quarterback, but we thought he didn't have McCaffrey and didn't have Debo. 3 straight losses.
3 straight bad losses.
And he didn't look good at all. And now that he has McCaffrey and Debo back, oh, surprise, they won.
Yeah.
Shocking. So it's really going to come down to McCaffrey being healthy, but I would say Debo's probably more of the X factor than McCaffrey, because if McCaffrey goes down, you still have Debo. He can play running back. He played running back last year before they got McCaffrey, and the year before, and he was pretty effective in that role.
So I think the X factor for the Niners is their defense, man. You're looking at those 3 games that they lost. There was like some of the first games that they allowed points on the opening drive, and the most points they've allowed in the first half. They were missing Fred Warner and some of their key pieces. Like, the Niners are kind of like what the Broncos were when they won Super Bowl 50. They've got a good offense, but really that top 3 defense is really what make the Niners such a complete team. And when their defense struggles and they have to put the reliability on Brock Purdy with or without his weapons, then it's not going to work out well. When you're having Brock Purdy throw 7 interceptions to 3 touchdowns over that week, it's because they're in those losing games and he's airing the ball out instead of letting the offense just be creative and do what the offense does.
It's similar to how they lost the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because once Mahomes started putting up points, Garoppolo could have, he could have gone toe-to-toe with him, and it's similar with Purdy. Like,
it's how I play Madden, man. You let me go down 10 points, I'm throwing the ball over. I'm throwing 7 interceptions.
Winning the ball.
Exactly, man.
The punter doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The punter and the kicker, they're cut.
4 and 15 every single time. Go for it.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't care what Madden says. I'm going for it.
Analytics say do it.
It's 60 yards or nothing, bro. No, dude. When I play Madden, it's like just run the damn ball, bro. I do not trust myself. I do not trust my phone. Especially in this year's game, dude. Fucking the screen would say perfect accuracy, and the fucking ball is like 20 yards, like the other pounds,
or intercepted.
Like, what the fuck do you mean perfect accuracy, motherfucker?
Because I played on Madden, and every other pass is picked. I'm like, what the fuck? Come on, this is like, it does a little chart thing. We're like, oh, this is a good throw, and then picked off. I'm like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah, you have to.
It's terrible.
You have to go full Davis Mills and just check down.
Yeah, exactly. A Tom Brady offense.
Yeah, Tom Brady offense, bro. Just whip route to the running back, check down for 4 yards. That's it.
Yeah.
Do that 20 times a game.
And still fucking lose.
But go back to the Lions. They've been surprising, man. Like, they've been building their team the right way, and I wouldn't be surprised seeing them.
Have they been surprising, man? Because I feel like we saw some of this last year. I feel like we could see the writing on the walls a little bit.
I think the NFC North being so bad is the surprising part. The Lions, we thought were going to be good, but the AFC North or the NFC North, we thought were going to be better. Particularly the Vikings.
That was, I think losing Dalvin Cook kind of hurt them a little bit, because they thought, we can get the same type of production from Madison. He's good in spurts, but he's not the long-term answer.
They started 3-0, right? I mean, it's 0-3, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, they lost against the Bucks. They lost against the Eagles. And
their problem wasn't putting up points. Their defense took a giant step back. They were averaging 30 points, but giving up like 35. Like, you can't win that way. I think that's one of the teams you're gonna have to blow it up, because outside of Jefferson and Addison, you don't really have a whole lot of young talent on the offensive side of the ball. Most of it's, veterans, and on defense, they've got to figure something out.
When's the last time an NFC won the Super Bowl? Was it the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
I think so.
Buccaneers with Tom Brady.
And before that,
Eagles.
Yeah.
2016, right? Eagles 2016.
Eagles was
Was it not 2016 or 2015?
Rams,
what?
right?
Oh yeah, the Rams. Yeah, the
Oh,
Rams.
the Rams, dude.
Yeah.
How did I fucking forget about it? That's when
Because
OBJ
they were so good and then so bad so fast.
so fast.
They basically it was Super Bowl of bust because like they weren't built for long term success. They went all in. Hey, I don't blame them at all.
That's when OBJ left the game
Injured,
after
yeah.
injury, right? Like on the
he
second.
tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't blame him for going all in because in the NFL it is hard to win a Super Bowl. If you have a chance to, and be terrible for the next few years,
The window is only so big for so long.
But that's the thing. You have to sell the farm.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna sell the farm, you better get that.
You better win. You better win.
Better fucking win, dude. Because otherwise, no.
Well, it's similar to the Eagles a few years ago. Like they were in a similar type of situation, but they didn't win it. Like they had all these all-star players but they didn't win shit. And it set them back for a little bit, but then they had to rebuild.
They bounced back.
Okay, what team should blow it up next year and just start from scratch?
The Giants.
What can they possibly blow up at this point? Like
the Commanders too, man. Pretty much. I mean,
the Commanders are basically, they already admitted defeat. They're like, okay, we're gonna start rebuilding already.
Damn, the Giants. I think the Cowboys, they're gonna have to make some hard decisions.
The Cowboys should,
because Dak is a great game manager, but like if you're wanting to compete with the Eagles and the Niners, like you don't have the pieces around on your roster to compete with them. So
I feel like Seattle's on the brink too, man.
Yeah, because Geno's 35. Like he's like a play. He's not your long term answer. You gotta like figure out.
Yeah, but
want to go with another veteran? You want to go with a rookie?
Who trades for Dak?
He'd be an upgrade for a couple of teams, but oh man,
Green Bay. I could see Dak going to Green Bay.
Green Bay. Green Bay. Ugh.
Or you can go full heel and go to the Giants.
Yeah, for real.
Another reason not to watch them. What about the Seahawks, bro?
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I could definitely see that.
I could definitely see that. Dak at the Seahawks, I could definitely see that.
He's just about as corny as Russell Wilson. I could see that. I could see him being the franchise QB in the Seahawks.
At least he's not doing random ass TikToks.
Yeah, for real.
I feel like Russell brought everything, all the hate onto himself. 100%.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, very well deserved.
Oh man.
Dude, I'm end of the season. The season might be even more interesting because there's gonna be a lot of.
Bro, nobody can fucking hear you, Rios. I can't believe we're already going into week 11, dude.
I know, it's insane. Like God,
we just fucking started.
I know. We're already almost at Thanksgiving, man. We already almost at the promised land, man.
I'm just ready for this year to be over. Not sports-wise, just the year in general. Because 2023 has sucked. It has sucked ass.
It's been a wild year, man, for sure.
I'm not gonna lie. This decade, it started off as a shit show, and it hasn't let on.
Right? Like we started this decade with a global pandemic. Fucking housing market crash and fucking groceries like $500 a week.
Oh my god.
At this point, I'm about to hunt my dinner with a bow and arrow.
Did you see the Thanksgiving lineups?
I haven't looked at it. I know the Cowboys and the Lions are playing. I forgot who they're playing though.
Yeah, the Lions are playing the Packers, the Cowboys playing the Commanders, and the 49ers playing the Seahawks.
It's not bad.
That's probably going to be the best game. 49ers.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty decent lineup because the last couple of years it's been.
But who the fuck was to watch the Cowboys and the Commanders?
Yeah.
Fucking.
I feel like that's more of like a classic rivalry. Back when they were the Redskins. What I'm saying, Cowboys Redskins on Thanksgiving. There was some pretty good games back in the day. I think that's more of a tradition thing than an actual interesting game.
Yeah, the racial implications of it all.
Yeah.
As history has told us, the Cowboys win.
Yeah.
In the long run, they don't win right away. In the long run,
I know it's interesting that like they have Cowboys Lions as the two teams that are contracted, but like why not Cowboys Redskins? Like I feel like that would have been the perfect Thanksgiving slate. Cowboys in the morning, Redskins in the afternoon. That sounds like Thanksgiving to me.
Right. Even though our Native American brethren do not win.
Did you guys hear that there's like actually a group of people that are protesting? They get the name changed back to Redskins because apparently the person that was on the helmet was like a really important Native American figure, and like it's like disrespectful that they took him off the helmet, and so like there's a group of Native Americans that are actually protesting to get the name changed back to Washington Redskins.
I would like to say because there's a lot of tradition behind that name. Like they've won 4 Super Bowls. Like they were one of the earliest teams. Like there's a ton of history with that organization. Like
see, for me, call it whatever the hell you want, except the Commanders, and change the damn logo.
Yeah,
like that thing, like both the name and the logo just looks like placeholder.
Yeah. I thought the Red Hogs was a dope idea, man, because they used to be called the Hogs back in the day. I thought Red Hogs would have been a dope idea, same color scheme and everything. Just do a hog instead of a.
Bro, they have a cool color scheme, but that's about it.
Or even a better name, the Sentinels.
Yeah.
The Sentinels. I remember a lot of people were pushing for that one. I was like, bro, that's badass, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it makes more sense than the Commanders. Like.
Yeah, it does.
Washington Commanders, bro. Fuck out of here.
I mean, it's better than the Washington football team.
Yeah, definitely. Washington Football Club.
Is it better?
Washington FC.
To me, it's in the same tier, dude. To me, it's in the same tier.
Yeah, it's pretty damn near the same though. It is.
When they changed it to the Commanders, I was like, might as well just keep the football team for another year while you figure something else out.
The Commanders feels like it should have the Jets color scheme.
That's an idea. Oh. I can see that.
I don't know. Which team should change their name?
Us. We need something more original than the Texans.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a stupid name, but hey, but fuck it.
If you're gonna keep the logo, I would say a better name would be the Longhorns.
Oh, I feel like we have to keep the logo. We have to keep the logo. We cannot be called the Longhorns.
Yeah.
Because we already have the Longhorns here in Texas, like the college team. So like we cannot do that. It'll just be weird. But we have to keep the logo. We have the sickest logo in the fucking NFL. Everybody can fight me on that. You know what's a stupid logo? Fucking Colts.
Oh, see.
You know what's a stupider logo? The Browns.
Did they have a logo? I thought it was just a color.
It's just the orange helmet. That's so weird to me.
It's not even brown.
It's an orange helmet.
And they got that elf as their mascot. Like,
yeah.
what does an elf have to do with Cleveland?
I think if they should embrace the dog thing. It goes like a dog logo. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be pretty cool.
Cleveland Bulldogs, dude. That actually sounds
nice. That'd be tight.
I can respect that.
Not the Chargers. Stupid logo.
Like what exactly is the Charger like? This?
Yeah.
That's what you guys are.
Yeah, no, definitely. The Cowboys is also a stupid name. I mean, the stupid logo, but it's just iconic, I guess.
Yeah. I like that that logo that they have for the Desperados. I think it is that was the arena football team. I like that. The Cowboys should go with that.
That's pretty fire. Not gonna lie. I know. Yeah, that's pretty fire.
The Cowboys should just move cities and completely rebrand.
I mean, they're called the Dallas Cowboys, but they're not even in Dallas. They're in fucking Arlington. Yeah. That's like an hour away from Dallas.
Just go to move to Mexico and be los vaqueros, bro, for all I care.
Hey, we might see some international teams. You never know. If they put a team in England, why not Mexico? Mexico's a lot closer than England.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, if anything, they should put it in Mexico. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
Right? Mexico City.
Imagine, like, flying for 7 hours just to play in fucking England.
To play the Jaguars every other week.
All right, guys. Well, we were shooting the shed a lot. we're coming up to an hour. Anything you all want to say before we head out?
CJ,
No, man. Shoot, I know.
CJ is him. All capital letters. CJ MVP. Fuck Sam and Carlos. Carlos, like specifically.
That fucking projector forehead.
Fuck the Saints. Fuck the Raiders. Fuck
I'm
the
thankful
Titans.
he's not here because we don't have to do the ugly ass Rangers hat.
I know, man. He's been wearing that shit.
I told him, shave your head. Your hair will grow back by Thanksgiving. Well, I mean, no one had probably
his hair is not growing back, dude. His hair is not growing back.
He's like a reverse Chio pet. It doesn't grow.
All right, man. Well, it's been a pleasure having a chat with y'all. Like always, we will be back again next week. We'll talk about probably the best fucking matchup that I keep looking at is the Eagles Chiefs, but I'm sure people are gonna pop their Achilles and throw their ACLs out. So we'll see. We'll have plenty to talk about. Sam should be back hopefully because I don't know how to do the fucking intro and outros of this shit.
If he doesn't come, we'll figure it out because
we'll figure it out.
Well, like I just hope next time they give me more than a fucking afternoon to figure this bitch out. Because my phone died. That's why I didn't answer for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
your phone was there for 12 hours. Shut the fuck up,
bro. I was at work. I was at work till like 4, and then I got
home. No excuses. I don't want to hear it.
Your mom. Anyway, see you guys next week. Y'all take it easy.
Y'all going.
All right.